For the second part of today, we're going to focus on creating shapes with the Shape tool. Now, the Shape tool allows you to create a whole bunch of different types of shapes. You have the option to create free-handed shapes as well as very specific shapes, and we're going to practice both in this section. Under each part, it tells you what kind of shape you should be making. For the first one, it says to make an oval. You may pick your own fill-in stroke for all of these, so they don't have to be green. To make an oval, I have to go to my Shape tool. The Shape tool is the fourth one down. I'm going to click and hold it, and you'll see that I have a whole bunch of options. To make an oval, I need to use my ellipse tool. Ellipse tool just basically makes circles. To make an oval, I can simply click and drag down and pull. If I need to resize it, I need to swap to my selection tool and resize. One thing I see often happening is students will go make an oval, then they will go to fix the oval and they click again. Before they know it, they have made about 4 or 5 different shapes because they're not using the selection tool. Remember that the selection tool selects things. Shape tool is going to make shapes. That's its predominant job. So once you're happy making your shape, you need to resize, swap to the selection. Right, move your shape and show me the ones you made here on the right. As you go down, you'll see that they change in requirements. For example, this one says to make a square. If I take my rectangle tool and try to make a square without holding down Shift, I'm going to get something that's a little bit more uneven. In order to ensure that I actually make a square and not a rectangle, I should click and hold Shift. It's going to keep my sides in perfect proportion, meaning the width and the height are going to be the same, which is exactly what a square is. I can shrink it down, again holding Shift while I shrink it down with my selection tool, and then move it over here. Okay. Same idea with the circle. So if I go back to my ellipse tool and I click and hold, I can get something pretty close to a circle, but it's going to be a little off. In order to make an actual perfect circle, I can hold down Shift while I draw. Another tip is if you want to make a circle from the center, right? If I draw automatically, it comes from the upper left-hand corner. I can hold down Alt or Option and Shift, and now I have a circle from the center. Makes it easier to draw sometimes. Make sure all of these aren't green and they're your own colors. Now when you get to the ones on the bottom, these are a little bit more specific. For example, it says to create a polygon that has 6 sides and 1 inch radius. So in order to create specific shapes and not free-handed shapes, you're going to have to use a technique where you activate your Shape tool and you just simply click on your artboard. Let me show you what that looks like. I'm going to activate my polygon tool, and I'm just going to click once and release my mouse. When I do that, I will get a dialog box that pops up that lets me input settings. So the radius is 1 inch, and I'm going to make the sides 6. Now I'll have exactly what I'm looking for. The same goes with any shape tool you use. For example, if I need to make a star of a specific setting, go to my star tool, click down release, and then put my settings all in here. Once you're done with this section, you're going to start getting a little more creative with it. I'd like you to use your knowledge of creating shapes as well as applying fill and stroke to recreate this layout. You can choose your own colors, but they should include all the shapes that you see here. Good luck.